Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today I'm going to walk you through one of the most powerful job search systems available for professionals who work inside of the healthcare industry on the non-clinical side. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, unorganized, or unsure about your job search, this video will change the way you apply for jobs forever. We're going to walk through how Blossom's job board, job tracker, resume scoring, and keyword targeting all work together as one system and not four separate tools, but one fully integrated workflow. And we're going to use a job posting as an example to show you exactly how to use it. So we're going to hop over here to the job board. On Blossom's job board, all of the opportunities posted here are 100% remote. There are two different ways that you can search for job opportunities on the board, either by category or by specific experience or requirements that you may have. So if you're someone who's looking for high paying opportunities, you can filter that way. If you have 2 years or less of experience, you can search that way as well. If you need an opportunity that will give you time to obtain your certification, so maybe you're at the end of your program, so you're about to sit for an exam, or you've already sat for an exam and didn't pass the first time and you have to go back again, but you still want an opportunity that requires certification but gives you time to get it, you can filter that way as well. And then we have opportunities that don't require any certifications at all, as well as opportunities that sponsor EPIC certification. So there's multiple different ways that you can look for job opportunities here on the job board. You can also save and track your opportunities here, as well as score your resume as well. Now we are going to pick an example. I'm going to go to no cert required. Let's do lead healthcare analyst. I'm going to click apply. Now, before we even apply, Blossom helps you to understand the job better. A lot of people skip this step of scoring their resume. They may read through a job posting, look and say, oh, this is great. This matches some of my background. And they'll go ahead and they'll click that apply button and submit the current version of their resume without making any changes to it. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that you can make. As a career coach, it's something that I would see all the time, people applying for job opportunities that they actually qualified for, but before going through and really reading and analyzing the job description to see if there was anything else that they needed to add in, they would skip that step. And when you're applying for job opportunities, it's important to speak to both the applicant tracking system and the hiring manager. So there's two different audiences that you're writing your resume for. And the very first audience is the applicant tracking system. So this is AI, with making sure that you have the right keywords inside of your resume. And then the second audience is humans. That's the hiring managers and recruiters. And for them, it's more so speaking to the common challenges and nuances of working in the role and making sure that you're saying things inside of your resume that says, hey, I have the experience, the knowledge, or the educational background that qualifies me for this particular role. So remember that Blossom is going to tie all of this together for us. So I'm going to go ahead and copy what's listed here inside of the role as far as the requirements. And I'm going to come back over to the job board here. And I'm going to go ahead and click score my resume. And because I've already uploaded my resume on the dashboard part, it already integrated that in over here in the resume text section. Right here where it says job description, I'm going to paste the job opportunity. And I'm just going to make sure that I don't have anything else in here that's not a requirement of working in the role, such as like the company's mission, values, and goals. We don't need to have that information listed here inside of the job description. Okay, so we're going to use the information that I just pasted in here. And with Blossom, if we can detect the kind of applicant tracking system that the company is using, you can click this button here that says detect the ATS, and it will give you specific resume tips based on what's inside of your resume and the job posting. It will give you specific tips for that particular applicant tracking system, and you can also download that into a checklist on your computer to kind of go through and look to see some specific resume tips. And here, one of the tips that stands out here, it says to avoid tables and columns and to make sure to use a DOCX or PDF template when you are applying for this kind of job opportunities. There's still people who put tables and columns inside of their resume, not realizing that this does not parse through the applicant tracking system well, and it could be a part of the reason why you're getting some of those auto reject emails. So if our system is able to detect which applicant tracking system the company is using, we will give you some ATS tips as well. And if there are any specific certifications, you can indicate that here. Just going to look to see if this one requires any certs. This one does not require any certifications in particular, so I'm going to leave that blank. And I'm going to go ahead and click generate score. And I'm going to save the scan and also make sure that I save the resume score. So right here, the 41%, this is a sign that says, hey, there are a significant amount of keywords that are missing from your resume that you might want to consider getting inside of your resume. And depending on how many years of experience you have inside of the industry, 5, 10, 15 years, it is impossible to put everything about your complete work history inside of your resume. And that's actually a really good problem because that means that whenever you want, you can go back and jog your memory and think about things that you have did that's not in the current version of your resume that you can go ahead and add into your resume to increase your resume score before you apply to the position. And again, this is one of the biggest mistakes that some people are making with their job search, is not seeing which keywords are missing from their resume and getting them inside of there. Okay. So if I want to save this to my job tracker, I could just click this button here that says save to job tracker, and it will bring it over here to the job tracker. And as you go throughout the stages of to apply, or maybe you received an interview or you received a job offer, you can move the position over into the different categories here over into your job tracker. But let's just say you receive the auto reject email. You receive an email 2-3 days later that says that you didn't get selected for a position. And then you go back on the job tracker here and you look and say, well, what was my resume score? And if you see something like this, that it was a 41% match, that is something that could be a contributing factor as to why you didn't get selected for an interview. So when you are tracking what you're doing and measuring, right, what they say, you can't improve what you don't measure. This gives you an opportunity to really see what could be going wrong, right? If we have these two positions over here, let's move this one here, this one that's 35% and this one that's 41%, and you're thinking like, why didn't I get selected for an interview? Well, if you come over and you look at the job tracker, it's telling you like, hey, this could be a part of the reason why you didn't get selected for an interview for these two roles, because your resume score was really low, versus this one where you got an interview and your resume score was a 71% match. Okay, so it's a really cool feature to have everything just all in one central location. And even if you wanted to go back and look at a job posting, let's just say you're getting ready to prepare for this interview and you're like, oh my goodness, what was inside of that job description? You can click right here. And if the position is still up, it will give you the details of what's inside of that job posting. But sometimes job postings get taken down after they've determined who they want to interview for the role. So sometimes it's just good to just copy and paste it somewhere else, just in case they do take it down. But nonetheless, if you have it here on your job tracker and you click view posting, it will take you right back to the job posting. And another thing that you can do in terms of keyword matching, okay, is keeping up with the keywords that are inside of your resume and the kind of job opportunities that you are interested in pursuing. This part is extremely important. And it was a manual process that I used to show my clients of how to use a spreadsheet to keep up with the different keywords that they're seeing inside of the job posting. But most importantly, the top 10. There is a trend there. If you are laser focused on the kind of job opportunities that you want to pursue, and you're only scanning those kind of opportunities here in Blossom, it will keep track of the keywords that are inside of the job postings you've been scoring in the system. And it will let you know, hey, these are the keywords that we are seeing the most frequently. And this is a indicator to you to know that these are the keywords that I need to have inside of my resume if I have the experience to back it up, the work experience, the transferable skills, or the educational knowledge. One of those three things. You need to make sure that you have these keywords inside of your resume. And then it also will give you a running list of other keywords that has been in some of the scores that you've ran. But again, you want to pay attention to the top 10. So this is a really cool feature for you to have everything in one spot versus you either trying to manually do this. So if your resume doesn't mention some of these terms, Blossom will flag them as missing or underrepresented in your resume, and you'll see exactly what needs to be added to improve your chances of passing ATS filters, those automated systems that rank your resume. Like I said before, plenty of times, healthcare organizations and companies in general, they have HR teams, applicant tracking systems, all of these things working for them to help them to be more efficient in finding candidates for their open positions. But what are job seekers using to help them to be more organized and strategic when it comes to their job search? This is what Blossom does, all in one space. Just imagine knowing exactly what your resume is missing before you apply. That alone boosts your confidence and saves you time. And the fact that you can just be on the job board looking at job opportunities, and just with the click of a button, you can score your resume just with the click of a button. Now, with that being said, if you want to make some updates to your resume or you're trying to get some of the key terms inside of your resume, you can use the resume builder. And let's just say you want to do one for revenue cycle. You can go ahead and click use, or you can download the resume template, but the resume template will upload here. But let's just say before you start using the template, you want to start working on some of those keywords that are missing from your resume. You can't quite figure out, like, how do I want to get this bullet point inside of my resume to speak to the applicant tracking system and also the hiring managers? Because remember, your resume has to speak to both. You can use the AI bullet point generator here that is exclusively available inside of Blossom. And when you click that button, it's going to bring you over here to the RHIA Resume Bullet Builder. And you click this button here that says, help me to write bullet points in my resume. And it's going to take you through the prompts with the RHIA resume method. That is a combination of using relevant keywords inside of your resume, achieving an alignment language, having an amazing professional summary, and career highlights inside of your resume. I'm going to go through and I'm going to find one of the keywords that are missing or most frequently mentioned. So I'm going to reload the scan that we just did. Let's do visual data insights, right? So insights was the keyword that it picked up, but the full word here is visual data insights. So I'm going to try to get a line item inside of my resume that speaks to visual data insights to external clients. So I'm going to grab this whole line here. I'm going to come back to the GPT bullet point generator. And it says, to get started, please copy and paste the exact bullet point or requirement line from the job description that you want help aligning to. So I'm going to put this one in. And it's then specifically asking which keywords do I want to get inside of my resume. And I'm going to tell it that it's this particular keyword that I want to get in. And then it's going to go through the prompts and a series of questions that is asked to me in order to help me to get a bullet point inside of my resume. I'm going to speed through this prompt. Okay, and with all of those prompts, it took all of the information that I gave it, which was real information from previous work history that I've had. It took all of the information that I gave it and went through a series of questions that it was asking me. These are questions that we embedded into Blossom, into the RHIA Resume Bullet Builder, that are real questions that I would use in one-on-one sessions with my clients to teach them and help them with creating targeted bullet points inside of their resume. So one, using the keywords that are inside of the job posting, but formatting the bullet points in a way that it stands out to the reader, which would be the hiring manager or the recruiter that's considering calling you in for an interview, but formatting the sentences in such a way where you're not just saying what you did or you're just putting something that's just like very vague. It's very detailed, right? So one of these bullet points given to me, impact first one, it says reduce radiation oncology denial trends by $570K a month by generating visual data insights in Excel and PowerPoint from Epic WorkQ exports and presenting findings to revenue integrity leadership. Now, when I got started with this, I just pulled a bullet point that's inside of this exact job posting right here for lead healthcare analyst, pulled one of the bullet points, and I picked a sentence that I'm just like, you know what, off the top of my mind, I probably won't just think of a bullet point that I can put together that sounds really good. Visual data insights. I'm going to let ChatGPT do the heavy lifting. What matters with ChatGPT and using it to write your resume is that, one, you know how to write a resume the way that it should be written, and two, that you are using your real world experience and that you are giving ChatGPT a very detailed prompt. And not everybody is using ChatGPT that way. So if you don't know how to use ChatGPT, if you don't know what information to share with it, this bullet point generator is already created in that kind of way. So you don't have to do the legwork. So as you can see right here, it got the keyword in here that I want, which is visual data insight, and it's using my real world experience. This is something that I've actually done. And it's using quantifiable data. It's impact driven. It has the exact keywords in here. This is something that a hiring manager would read and say, you know what? This is really good. This is really good. It just doesn't say, I created visual data insights, right? That's very vague. You want to give something very detailed. And with this bullet point generator here, it will give you multiple different versions of the bullet point so that you can pick which one you feel would go best inside of your resume and what matches with your real world experience. And of course, if there's any tweaks or changes that you want to make to the bullet point, you can do that as well. But nonetheless, if you get stuck and you're like, oh, like that keyword is missing from my resume, but I don't know how to put it inside of my resume, you can open up the GPT bullet point generator and you can use that when you are building out your resume. So if you find a resume template in here that you want to use, and there were some keywords that were missing from your resume that you want to add into this resume template here, you can have some bullet points that you can add inside of your resume. I just took that one there and just pasted it there. And this is like my real world experience. And it says visual data insights. So this is something that's like a really cool feature as well that's embedded inside of Blossom, and you can save it or you can print your resume out. So it's your one-stop shop, your career hub that has everything all in one spot. Everything that you need for your job search, everything that you need for your resume, as well as posting like referral opportunities as well, a learning hub, a talent community in here as well. It's everything right at your fingertips. The job market is competitive, especially for roles in health information management and health information technology. And the people who get interviews aren't always the most qualified. They're the most prepared and the most aligned. Blossom gives you that advantage. It's not about finding jobs. It's about helping you present the best version of yourself for those jobs, and also giving you a space to be organized and to keep track of everything. If you're tired of unorganized job searching, guessing which keywords to use, or wondering why your resume isn't getting any traction, Blossom is the solution. Go ahead and create your free account today so that you can start scoring your resume and applying for these job opportunities and building out the strongest version of your resume. You don't have to have a resume writer when you have something like this right at your fingertips. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone searching for job opportunities inside of the healthcare industry. See you inside of Blossom.